Hey guys, it's Steven here. Welcome back to another episode of the Transfer Target powered by Snickers Protein. Just made up a jingle. You can have that one for free, Snickers. Anyway, Snickers are helping fans fall back in love with the game this transfer window, and you can get your questions in to me as well. The Snickers Protein fan line is all about you guys. All you got to do is tweet me at Stephen McInerney and use the hashtag go all Spencer there on the hashtag fanline, and I will answer your questions on this channel. Don't forget as well, if you do send in a question, you do consent to using basically to me using your name, basically or comments in a video as well. So don't forget to remember that. Nicholas just stood there ominously looking at me. Are you annoyed?
I can't believe you started the intro without me throwing a Snickers.
Without her throwing a Snickers, because yesterday, if you watched, Nicholas threw a Snickers. Do you want to catch it again? I tell you what, I really am powered by Snickers Protein at the moment. Anyway, get your questions in using the hashtag fanline. I got 3 more to go through today, and also we're going to talk about Eric Garcia's urge to play for Barcelona. And don't forget, by the way, there will be a watch along later on with Nicholas actually going to be. Come on, quickly say hello. Come on, quickly say. Stop measuring your oxygen in the video. There you go. She'll be in the watch along later for the Cheltenham game. Go away. Stop. I'm not a Snickers Protein. Yeah. Anyway, the first question of the day comes from Magic Mendy. Big love to Magic Mendy, saying, Stephen, would selling Laporte make sense for Haaland and Messi in the financial fair play sense? Oh, see, Magic Mendy's getting, he says quasi a Mike. Mike's getting very real here, presuming your name is Mike, because once again, he's, not once again, it's the first time that I've ever had a question from him, but he's pointing out that, unfortunately, if you try and sign someone like Messi and Haaland, there is financial repercussions. So I think something would have to give at some point if we did try and sign Haaland and Messi. Would Laporte going be worth it? Well, I think that's a question for you to consider personally. I would say, obviously, Laporte going, the blow would be very much softened by Haaland and Messi coming in because it would transform our forward line massively. But I don't want to see Laporte go. Of course I don't want to see Laporte go. But at the same time, it's one of those things where we have to see, maybe playing devil's advocate, maybe Ake has a really good second half of the season, looks more than good enough to step in, and maybe we can get, I don't know, one of our young academy players can prove that they can be a really useful addition. And Nico just casually walking around in the background there. Useful addition to the team in terms of defensive output. And if Laporte went because he wanted to go, that would soften the blow big time. But at the same time, getting rid of potentially world-class centre-backs, maybe a world-class centre-back like this, we're only one injury away from being back at square one again. So it's a big, big thing, man. I suspect someone will have to leave. My guess would probably be Mahrez, because obviously he'd be in Messi's position. And I've always got a sense Mahrez is happy here, but I feel like I can imagine him moving. So maybe it'd be that. But I personally wouldn't be tempted to sell Laporte. But if it happened, and we got Haaland and Messi, I'd be like, well, at least I understand it, maybe. The next question, big love, by the way. The next question comes from the Toast Ghost, which is a classic name as well. It says, Stephen, with the left-back position taking all the transfer headlines over the past few windows, what do you think about the right-back slot? With Walker creeping towards his mid-30s, is he mid-30s? How old is Walker? How old is Kyle Walker? I think, obviously, I know what the point you're making in general, but Kyle Walker is, let's have a look. My internet decided to be the slowest it's ever been for some reason. I'm pretty certain Kyle Walker's like 30, 31, isn't he? Why is it? Oh, of course my web browser decided to freeze and not take it. Either way, wait, how old's Kyle Walker? Come on, internet. Kyle Walker is 30, so I wouldn't say he's creeping towards his mid-30s personally, mate. I get the point you're making. But he has got time on his side. Anyway, hypothetically speaking, he says, I know we have Cancelo, but who could understudy him going forward? Well, I do think he's got another 3 years left, Walker, being absolutely fine because he's a physical freak. Walker's 30, is most people's 25. But having said that, Manchester City are already investing in a long-term strategy for replacing one of the right-backs, because we've signed a whole bunch of very promising right-backs from around the world. We've signed a guy called Cliver Aguilera, a Peruvian, who's meant to be really, really highly rated. I don't know much about him, but he's a really powerful right back, apparently, really. One for the City football group that will keep a close eye on. We've signed Jan Couto as well, the Brazilian right back, and an under 17 or under 18 Brazilian World Cup winner. Either way, he's won stuff for Brazil at youth levels. which is very, very encouraging. He's really, really good. He's on loan at Girona at the moment. I think, is it Girona he's on loan at and doing pretty well. We've also signed a guy called Isaac Kabore, a Belgian right back who's got loads of potential. So I think basically the plans are for one of these players is to hopefully keep getting better and better and stepping into that vacancy. So Manchester City, I think we can always presume when we're City that there's always something in the pipeline, that we've always got, the next step planned, and hopefully that'll be this the long-term solution. Big love for the question once again, pal. Really, really appreciate it. And finally, there's one more. Where's it gone? This is from Nico. Nico said, who do you think that Man City is signing next summer? Hashtag Vanline. Nico, thank you for the question, mate. In terms of who you think Man City will sign, I think Manchester City will go for a left back. That could be anyone. It could be Tagliafico. It could be, I don't know, Lucas Digne. We've seen him linked to Manchester City before. I honestly can't say because, if I tried to guess who the centre-back we were going to sign last summer, there's no way that I would have ended up on Ruben Diaz, after Koundé and Koulibaly. But I think we'll have a list that will contain the likes of... Lucas Digne, is it Digne or Dean? Lucas Digne, either way. He'll be on it. Tagliafico will be on it. I reckon, as a long shot, Alaba will be on it, but I don't think that's going to happen. Then we'll maybe have the likes of Theo Hernandez on that list, and we'll maybe have the likes of, who else? Grimaldo or Gaia, these kind of people. So it'll be one of them, I reckon. One of those will probably be signed, or it might be some obscure person that we've never heard of before. In terms of midfielders, do not be surprised if City go for one of Locatelli or one of Zakaria or Benacia or Douglas Luiz. It'll be a defensive midfielder. We'll sign a defensive midfielder, I'm almost certain. So you got one of those two positions there, and I do think we'll go for a striker. I think City have been saving for a big one. And I think the striker, someone like Haaland, is someone we'll go for. So a striker, left back, defensive midfielder. And then I reckon Messi is not that we want a right winger, but if Messi became available, we would make it work, I reckon. So we got those kind of situations there. So that's what I reckon, mate. We'll go for a left back, defensive midfielder, and a forward. And as a bonus, if someone like Messi became available, I think we'd go for that. So, guys, that's the questions. Thank you very much. Don't forget, you can use the hashtag fanline and tweet at me, Stephen McInerney. If you go and do it on Twitter right now, chances are your question could be involved in tomorrow's show and the one after that. So go and get your questions in over on Twitter. Don't forget, it can be a video or a tweet, and you can send to your name and your comment being used in the video and all that kind of stuff. Go and get yourself a Snickers Protein. The great stuff, in my personal opinion, of course. And finally, the last talking point of the day is that Eric Garcia, apparently, according to Sport over in Spain, wants to pay €2 million out of his own pocket to sign for Barcelona. The boy Garcia wants to play for Barcelona. And do you know what? The more I think about this, I don't mind him wanting to go and all that kind of stuff. Of course, we're meant to take it personally if a player wants to leave Manchester City. We're meant to hate them forever. Like, how dare you leave our glorious club? But it just could be that he wants to go home, man. Like, the weather's horrible. He's a young lad in a different country and he's adapted pretty well here. But you got to bear in mind, he's obviously, he's a Barcelona born and bred player. And I think I understand if I was a young 20-year-old and the world has been tipped upside down, which it has, unfortunately, given the weird world we've had over the past 12 months. I think sunny Spain and being close to all your family would tempt me as well, especially when the club that's tempting you is literally one of the biggest clubs in world football that currently has the best player ever to play the game there as well. So I understand Garcia's drive to go back home, really. I don't think it's anything to do with Manchester City. It's more just like he just probably wants to go home. And he probably wants to play regularly for one of the biggest teams in the world that can give him home and get him in the Spanish national team. And life would be very good there, You'd get a pay rise as well, I presume, or something very similar. So even though, obviously, it burns a little bit to see players wanting to leave Manchester City, I get it. I don't blame him. He seems a likeable person. Maybe he's not quite up to Manchester City's level. That's a debate for another day. But what I do know is that it probably is a move that works for everyone. And I think the fact that he allegedly wants to pay €2 million to join Barcelona out of his own pocket probably means he's got too much money, to be honest. But it also means he clearly wants this. And if it's that emotional for him, then fair play. We've got to bear in mind as well, when Fernandinho did this to join Manchester City and paid a little bit out of his own pocket to leave Shakhtar, we were all a big fan of that. He meant a lot. It shows how much he wanted the move. So if that's the case with Garcia too, as long as he's respectful to his colleagues and his teammates and Guardiola, then so be it. That's all I will say on that one. And I'm sure this saga will be over pretty soon. Guys, thank you very much for watching this video. Don't forget, I will be on the watch along with the mischief maker in the background over there. Very noise. She's just noise and brah, and that's why I'm marrying her. No, I love it. Don't worry, it's fine. Anyway, Get yourself a Snickers Protein. Thank you for watching this video. If you're enjoying this series, don't forget, it's every single day until the end of the transfer window. And I might even carry on in a different kind of film after this if you're enjoying it. Let me know down in the comments if you're enjoying it. Go watch the preview, and I'll see you in a bit. Big love. Oh, thank you to all the patrons that have been scrolling down the side of the screen as well.